Today we're going to be talking about WallStreetBets' new target support.com stock, aka the next big short squeeze. Let's get into the video. Hi everyone, my name is Zach and welcome back to Finance Bro. Before we get into the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please leave a comment of how many shares of support.com stock you have, how many you want to have, and then also consider leaving a like and subscribe as it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you guys are interested in seeing our stock portfolio, you want to see why we buy and sell stocks, when we buy and sell stocks, and you also want to get a free stock that could be worth up to $70, go ahead and get signed up with Public, the social investing app. It's a really cool app. I'll show you a little bit more of it right now. You can see here that you can actually follow us at It's Finance Bro. You can see our portfolio, our long-term portfolio. There's more in here, so you have to check it out to see. And then you could also see our watch list. And then you could also see when we buy and sell stocks. So say we sold Fubu TV for 11% profit after 13 days, and yeah, we told everyone about it. So if this looks cool to you, go ahead and get signed up with Public with the first link in the description. With all that being said, let's get into our stock for today, which is going to be support.com. So here we can see that support.com was up 41% on the day. It is actually up more than 50% after hours as well. I believe up to $28 now. We're going to be going over technical analysis at the end of this video. We're going to be going over a fundamental overview of support.com as well. And then we're also going to be going over some other stuff. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and stick around till the end of the video. We can actually see here that support.com is up because shares are trading higher on abnormally high volume, not seeing any specific news to justify the price action in the low float stock. The stock has recently been mentioned as a potential short squeeze play by traders on social media. So yeah, that is really the news, is that it could possibly be a short squeeze, and then and retail investors are getting into the stock now. So that's really the news. We're going to get into a little bit more news a little bit later. But first, let's check on StockTwits to see how support.com kind of stacked up against the competition today. So as you can see here on StockTwits.com, we are not sponsored by them. We are sponsored by Public. However, get your free stock in the first link in the description. You can see here the support.com was the #1 trending stock and still is. It has been pretty much all day. It was also the second most active stock, being mentioned 15,000 times. Usually only AMC ever gets those kind of numbers. And then in terms of watchers, they have added the most watchers in the last 24 hours out of any stock. So the social sentiment around this stock is extremely good. But let's get into why support.com did so well today. We can see here that shares of support.com surged higher on Thursday, climbing as much as 43% earlier in the session, ultimately ending the trading day up 41%. That's not all. The company, which provides technical support services and cloud-based software, in case you guys didn't know, has been on fire all week, gaining more than 150% on the receiving end of an epic short squeeze and a benefit from a cryptocurrency connection. So let's get into this. While there is no specific news today, there were a couple of tailwinds that have been driving the stock higher. The company announced earlier this year that it plans a reverse merger with privately held Greenidge Generational Holdings, which bills itself as the first 100% carbon neutral Bitcoin transaction processor in the United States. With ongoing adoption of digital currencies and the growing awareness of negative environmental impact of cryptocurrency mining, Greenidge is positioning itself as a planet-friendly alternative. Additionally, WallStreetBets has been betting heavily against, Wall Street has been betting heavily against support.com, with more than 60% of its float sold short as of August 13th. That amounts to more than 25% of the company's outstanding share count, making it the ideal candidate for a short squeeze. Further evidence that the bulls were in charge this week is that more than 95 million shares traded hands today, up nearly 11-fold compared to its average daily volume over the past 3 months. Obviously, this is because retail investors are thinking that a short squeeze is possible here. It has already begun. The short squeeze has already begun. It is just seeing how many more shorts have to cover still, and how much further this stock's price can drive up. But yeah, the escalating share price and the resulting short covering become a self-fulfilling prophecy, driving shares even higher. The combination of high short interest and the fervor surrounding cryptocurrency was enough to drive support.com into the stratosphere today. So obviously, you know, there was some good news about Bitcoin earlier this year, and then obviously retail investors caught wind that this was 67% of the float was sold short, so they figured, hey, let's get those remaining shares and start asking ridiculous prices for them, and it ended up working. And it is just now a thing of how many more shorts still have to cover. Okay, now with all that news out of the way, we can get into kind of an overview of the stock in general. So this is a very low market cap stock, so that means that the stock is going to go up a lot, but it could also go down a lot because it doesn't take much, just one, you know, huge whale to sell and this thing could start tanking tomorrow. Or one huge whale can buy and this thing can go up more than 100%. But yeah, so right now they have a market cap of 477 million. Their performance outlook is green on short-term, mid-term, long-term, and there's a bullish pattern detected. According to Yahoo Finance, we could see here in terms of financials that they have been on kind of the downtrend, but with the whole Bitcoin thing going on right now, it's looking like, you know, this thing could start trending back up soon. And in terms of recommendation, this is a 2 according to Yahoo Finance as a buy. So now we can look into the financials and the balance sheet. This is actually one of my favorite things about this company is that they have 44 million in current assets, only 4 million in current liabilities, and they only have about $12,000 in debt. So yeah, they basically have no debt. They have more current assets and current liabilities, almost 10x. That is a very good balance sheet, and with this whole short squeeze happening, their balance sheet is only going to get better, assuming that they probably sell some of their stock, or sell more stock to gain some of this, to cash in on this, you know, insane bull run that they're having. But yeah, so I mean, overall, this is a very strong company on the books, although their revenue has kind of been tapering off a bit. I assume this would go up considering all the recent developments we've had. Okay, and now we can go over a little bit of technical analysis. Now there's not really much to talk about because if you take a look here, the highest that this stock was ever at was actually $9, and we broke that resistance, I believe, yesterday. We broke the resistance of $9, and then so we have just been on an unprecedented run at this point, and even into after hours, we have still gone from $20 all the way up to $24, I believe. So that we are in unprecedented territory. We are at unsustainable RSI levels at about 87, and the MACD is still trending up, but this has to come back down. I would assume a little bit of a correction tomorrow, probably to the $28 level, and we will have to see how this opens tomorrow, but I would assume a bit of a correction tomorrow, unless shorts still have to cover, in which case this thing could still be squeezing. And if more retail investors want to get into this stock, it doesn't take that much money to move the stock because of its low market cap in nature. So yeah, that is pretty much going to be it for today. Do you think this will be WallStreetBets' next huge short squeeze stock, or do you think that WallStreetBets is just kind of let this one go by the wayside? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys found any value in this video, then go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, as it really helps with the growth of the channel. But yeah, my name is Zach, and I hope to see you in the next video.